All right. Good afternoon, Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to another edition of the Super Metroid multi-category tournament. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Sire. How you doing today, Sire?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How's it going with you today?
Pretty good. Looking forward to some GT Classic. So this will be a fairly short race. We have Thorneto versus Ddraig. Um, the as such. So Thorneto pretty much said, "Yeah, I'm not doing 100%. Just not gonna do it." And Ddraig said, "Okay, let's do GT Classic." So here we are. We got GT Classic on our schedule today. Always a really fun category.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably one of my favorites of the tournament at the moment. It's it's very busy at the beginning, unlike some of these where there's a lot going on, and then it is a little shorter, but it still has a lot of good tech and good strats to watch the runners do, and however much they're comfortable doing.
Yep. And we do see, of course, we always have to start with Sirius Station. GT Classic is kind of a unique run, very front loaded on the danger aspect because we do need to uh, get minimal number of items. I mean, we could get more. It's not like you can't, but we want to get it to save time. We want to get a minimal number of items. Head over into Lower Norfair. Input the GT code as we go into the GT room. That is the Golden Teresa room, and that will give us everything we need to finish the game.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like GT is very interesting as a race because, in any percent, there's some safeties and different routes, but a lot of people do the same thing. I mean, GT Classic, you could get a whole slew of different items depending on how comfortable you are. I mean, you could even do like high jumpless lava dive if you really wanted to, and it saves a few seconds, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
um,
that.
I
In fact, is
just,
yeah,
yeah.
probably the biggest difference in routing would be some runners will choose to do the high jump as lava dive. I don't think either of these two are going to choose to do that, but you never know.
Yeah, but it's just in a race setting, it gives us a lot of good options. Runners might go for something, trying to get a leg up on the opponent. And so we might see, some real risky strats. You might see a lot of safety strats. We don't know yet. But yeah, definitely, I'm hoping to see some saves before the lava dive at least.
Yeah, pretty
So hopefully we'll
standard.
see that.
Well, Ddraig and randomizer often doesn't save, but hopefully these
Yeah.
specific choke points, so one right before the lava dive, I know he can do that because anyone that plays randomizer, that's frequently required.
Yeah.
The green gate glitch also frequently required in randomizer, but you don't usually have to do it with only 5 super missiles. So, and the fact is that if you're going down to that area, there's nowhere and nothing that you can farm to refill those super missiles in any kind of reliable fashion. So you really want to
Yeah.
have that save just to go back and get those supers.
Yeah, do those pirates even drop them? I don't even.
I mean, I
I
think
know.
that they probably have some small percentage. I'd have to look it up, but
Yeah,
it's not reliable. It's not. There are certain enemies that pretty much close to more than 99% of the time will drop your certain items, like the cack attacks dropping supers, or the multiviol. The viol is doing the power bombs, but no, there's nothing over there that you can pretty much guarantee that can absolutely get that guaranteed super drop. So definitely taking that save in a race situation is smart.
yeah, certainly hope so. So far, we're in the same cutscene here, getting the morph balls. So everything is pretty even between these two. We do see him heading right for missiles as well. Um, what, uh, what do you go for safeties on GT, or do you fly by the seat of your pants?
Well, I mean, the safeties you would get are extra E-tank. So I would definitely get the one extra E-tank at the crate room, and then you get the extra E-tank at high jump boots. And
Okay.
I don't do high jumpless lava dive, so not gonna be doing that. I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good safe way to do it without spending too much extra time with
Yeah,
other
because
things.
high jump and that E tank being in the same basic room. I mean, there's an extra door, but basically being in the same room, and then yeah, the extra E tank coming out of crate is pretty quick.
Yeah. So
So
let's take a look at their PBs. Thorneto with a 39.24.
Whoa.
He is our 32nd seed. Ddraig is our 48th seed with a 41.56. So, close enough in times that any kind of little trip up from Thorneto's side, we could see a very close race. On the other hand, even without a trip up, I mean, those are PBs, so we're going to see
Yeah.
what happens when these two runners. And in fact, Ddraig already a little bit in the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you don't agree, but as far as this rate, the multi-category races go, I feel like a PB as far as GT Classic goes maybe doesn't matter as much because I feel like there's a lot more resetting. When you miss those super missiles, then it's just like, oh, well, that run's done. Or
Yeah,
when you
you're not
miss
gonna.
that lava dive,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
well,
not
reset
saving
time.
in a PB attempt. You're just gonna
Yeah.
reset if those things don't happen for you. So that makes a
Yeah,
lot of
so
sense.
you could still have a blazing PB and have trouble in a race for sure, but hopefully they won't. And yeah, we got our first fight here with the Bomb Chorizo. See how it goes.
Yeah, and Wardrick, you're
Good
making a
drops
good.
for Ddraig.
Yeah, making a good point in chat that we don't really know how old these PBs are in general. He's finding out that Drake's is from about a year ago, so there's a lot of improvement that can happen at that point.
Yeah, yeah, and even just playing the races, I mean, or practicing for the races, runners could definitely get more comfortable with their situations. And Ddraig taking the time to
Yeah,
farm a little there.
interesting choice there.
I think that was for health, but then he took another hit and I think gave up on it. But not hurting them too much. I mean, they're still close. So picking up that first E-tank. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they need for the high jump version at least 2, or can you do it on 1?
I think I think you really want to have 2. Even
Okay.
high jump plus, I know it'll do 2.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to push it to just 1. I mean, if you're getting high jump boost, that E-tank is right on your way anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So, and we're on the elevator down, and this will be a good indication. Oh, and I guess I don't know if it was specifically said, but part of the reason why you would skip so many items in the beginning is because in the GT code that she talked about, basically gives you everything except for screw attack. But you get that in the very next room, so it doesn't matter. So you have plenty of items and missiles and everything to finish the game. So it's everything you skip is 7 seconds you saved.
So yeah, the GT code will give you all the major items except like you said, screw attack.
Yeah.
If you make the mistake of picking up screw attack before you enter the code, you will lose screw attack. So the runners have to be careful not to grab that item. We'll also give them 7 E-tanks, 3 reserves, 100 missiles, 20 supers, and 20 power bombs. One of the interesting parts about this, though, is it's really not 7 E-tanks. It's like 700 health. So it does make a little bit tricky when they get to stand-up glitch, should they decide to do that. So
And
we'll get to that when it comes.
Thorneto making the big skip, and Ddraig too. No charge beam for them. Not really required, but some people do pick it up as a safety. But yeah, they're going chargeless, and so that should be hopefully they'll make it through.
Yeah, the biggest reason to pick up charge beam is if your crate quick kill setup involves using the charge beam. You can also use a 2 missile 3 super setup, or you can actually do a similar setup without the charge beam, just a little more precise to get that mouth to open. And of course, the important part is we do need to go ahead and get these power bombs. Thorneto already making his way up Red Tower. Ddraig doing the same.
Yeah, neither of them, I don't think, getting the hero shot, but Thorneto is up and in the powerbomb area.
Yeah, Ddraig making it just behind him.
So yeah, and really, the race comes down to the lava dive and then the green gate glitch. So even a little bit of time gain lost here isn't going to be such a big deal. definitely they can make it up
Well,
on the major tricks.
yeah, there are other places where things will differ. Fantoon being a particular place where runners can gain or lose time. So it's not just about those two things, but if one of them has a lot of trouble with the lava dive or the green gate glitch, that's going to be a big factor in the race.
Definitely. Oh, and Ddraig farming up again.
Yeah, his health is a little bit low.
Yeah.
Health and ammo management early on in this are very important. You want to go into that green gate glitch with many supers as you possibly can. So you'll see a lot of runners will go ahead and farm. There's a little room on the way down to Lower Northford that you'll often see farmed. And it looks like Thorneto specifically wanted that super missile from the cack attack, knowing that the cack attacks pretty much always drop supers. And gonna go ahead and pre-break the tube. That's gonna save him time when he comes back here because he'll have gravity suit.
Okay.
And we'll be the first into Crate's lair.
So you were talking about the E-tanks with the stand-up glitch. Is there any E-tank you could pick up to make the stand-up glitch actually save time?
Well, it's not so much that it doesn't save time. The issue is you need to be at exactly 700, and that's the exact maximum that you get. So what the runners will have to do is manage their reserves properly, and make sure if they do take some damage, you'll have to refill from that. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to take it, the E-tanks you could pick up to make it a little bit easier would probably either be the Batwoon tank or the Ridley E-tank would be the most on the way. Batwoon probably a little more so.
Yeah, Batwoon in that room already going through it. Okay. Sorry, I'm asking for myself, to be honest. As far as whenever I run this thing, I feel like I have forget the 700 thing and have issues. So.
And Thorneto not getting the quick kill, so this is actually kind of a nasty fight now, potentially, if he doesn't get both these supers in and finish him off, because he's gonna have to farm because no charge beam.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers coming in here with no charge. If you stand Crate up, she will give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and Ddraig is going to take the lead here because he did manage to get that quick kill, and Thorneto is in a little bit of trouble because he does not have any ammo. He needs to fire at these claws. One of them will always give a drop, and the other one will not. And of course, he can't get any drops until he gets out of health bomb, which won't happen until he gets back up above 50.
Yeah, and Crate guarding that health with her life right there. Oh, jeez. Oh, he got it. He get out. All right, but he's still too low, so he's still gonna get one more health.
He's fine.
Oh,
he's got it because he got above 50. Well, he still gets loses the lottery there. Gets a health drop anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, this fight turning into a disaster for this race. And
okay, now he's got a couple missiles. And he only has just one more missile.
Needed one. Oh man.
Yeah, the problem with Kraid is if you're not used to him standing up and you're not used to him fighting him that way, it can be a very scary fight because you're just so used to just finishing him off so quickly. Props to Thorneto for finishing that out. Ddraig, on the other hand, notice he did skip the Kraid E-tank, so he's going to go for the 2-tank lava dive.
Yeah, and that's one of the dangers. It was only 7 seconds to pick up charge, but it was probably like a minute to fight that Kraid when it goes wrong. So, anything can happen in GT, and especially in this early game here.
Or even if he had just picked up the extra missile pack there above charge, that would have been would have helped him out.
Yeah. So is Thorneto? Now that not know, but think you're behind, do you go pick up this E-tank? No, he's not going to. Okay.
No, probably even less likely you pick up that E-tank because you feel behind. Okay, so Ddraig did get his high jump boots. I suspect Thorneto will as well.
Yeah, and so Ddraig is pretty much ready to go for the lava drive. Just has to head over there and execute.
Yeah, so something I'm going to point out there. So Thorneto accidentally fired a super up before he got the one into the door. Normally, not a huge deal. I mean, you're going to go over to normally in a normal run, you're going over to Bubble Mountain. You're going to get your speed booster. There's lots of places to farm up supers. You're probably going to do that. Here, like I said, ammo management is really big. Ddraig also only had with no super missiles at the moment is going to have to farm some up before he's going to do that lava dive. Probably will, like I said, there is that nice little refill room you can do that's right before the lower Norfair area on the way. Probably going to stop there and do a little bit of farming because, well, he has to. You know, he absolutely needs to get some supers. You don't even try this with none. Did not take a save.
Well, and I
Find
was
out
gonna
right now.
say I actually prefer this method. I mean, if he goes back for it, but where he's so low on ammo, if he does this now and then saves, then he saves also this farm time every time too.
Yeah,
So
it's the problem with that
no,
is that
no,
the save room. Yeah, the save room is
he's
so
just
far
fine.
back that it's really inefficient to do that. Now I'm a little. This not save is not nearly as bad, I don't think. At like that green gate glitch, if you miss it, that's just huge. He is
Yeah.
at full health, so he's a veteran at randomizer. He knows how to do this lava dive.
Yep. Yeah. So, but still cross your fingers. I mean, this is not free. I mean, 2 tank only, and so let's make sure he gets through.
Okay, Thorneto is taking the safety save. Maybe his thought process is, well, my opponent isn't. Maybe I can, if he doesn't make it through. Oh, see, this is really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is not gonna
Ddraig,
work.
he's not gonna have. Yeah.
And
Oof.
this is why you take the save.
Yeah.
And Thorneto, on the other hand, did take the save. Ddraig looks like he's just gonna go ahead and start up from the beginning. You might as well, because weird things can
Yeah.
happen in GT Classic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, Thorneto could lava dive 5 times before getting it. I mean, not wishing that on him at all,
Oh
but
no, of course not.
it can happen. So you got to keep going, especially in this category, because things can. I mean, you can green gate glitch too for 5 minutes and
Yeah,
whatever, and then
yeah, I've seen
you're right
really.
back in.
Yeah, that green gate glitch is a crazy strat that just every
Yeah.
runner it just leaves you every once in a while, and I've seen really good runners just mess up the green gate glitch over and over again. He's
Ooh,
gonna be really low.
Thorneto. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this is not gonna. He's
he's
gonna
gonna
take a
fail it
death too.
too. Yeah.
So he taking that save is really big for him right now.
Yeah, and you see, they're 16 minutes in, well, series, so more than 10 minutes in, let's say. I mean, that safety save, it took him maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, but it saved him 10. Like that's a huge percentage save there. So round 2 for Thorneto. Hopefully he gets it this time.
Yeah, in general, I'm not nearly as familiar with him as Ddraig. Thorneto not in the randomizers, or maybe he is, just hasn't joined our league for that yet. So hopefully he gets it on the second try.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he knew what he was doing. Just misstep on the one wall jump.
Yeah.
So, it looked good. I'm hoping to see him clean it up here. So, is this jump through the door setup the best?
It's one of the top ones. I personally like to just roll in, which is probably a little bit slower. But the
Okay.
way I do the lava dive is a little bit different. I do what's called the static dive, which you see here where Thorneto is doing 2 jumps there. I can do it in such a way you only do 1 jump. And that in itself saves the time. But the timing is a little bit different. You have to jump at the right spot, and if you don't know that right spot, you're gonna get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Thorneto, second
taking the
try.
save.
Very nice.
Taking another safety save. This is the big safety save in my opinion. Like I said,
Oh, yeah.
those super missiles, you miss that green gate glitch. You're not refilling.
Yeah, and I do the same thing. I roll through the door, so I figured it was slower, but because I see all the top guys jump. So Thorneto. Yeah. Oh,
You always have
good.
to remember that the strats the top guys do. There's a reason why they can do those more optimal strats
Yeah,
because they are the
exactly.
top guys.
Yep.
I'm Kip talks about this a lot. Doing the strats that work for you
Exactly.
is gonna, in the long run, save you more time than trying to do something that you're not good at and you're gonna fail the majority of the
Oh
time.
wow. And Thorneto cleaning up with the tricks. The Green Gate glitch is down, and
Yeah, looked a little
was it?
tentative, but he got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got, well, that would be third try because he's got 2 left.
Yep. Third
Yeah,
try.
pretty certain he had all 5 at the time.
And he is turning that missile on, so that's important because you don't want to crash your game after you go through the door there.
Yeah, that's basically a safety because the GT
Yeah.
code involves holding all 4 face buttons. So if you don't let go in time and you fire a shot off, you are going to probably crash your game. So a couple ways you can mitigate that. One is by selecting missiles, so that when you fire a shot, you're still good. And the other way to do it is to go through the door in morph form, because that way, if you push the shoot button, you're just firing a bomb.
Yeah, yeah, Sor Thornetto, good lava dive, had a great green gate glitch, a lot of G's, and then yeah, pretty quick Golden Chorizo fight there. So looks like he's pretty comfortable with the category, looking to live up to that 39 PB there. Oh, or just fire off a bunch of supers.
Sometimes that green gate is harder from the right side than it is from the correct side than it is from the wrong side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the same amount of supers. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And Ddraig still heading down to Brinstar here, so like you were saying, if anybody goes for stand-up in this category, sometimes it can be a little more non-standard than usual. So it's not to say that this race is over by any stretch of the imagination. Super Metroid always trying to troll you a little.
Yeah, there was a rather famous or maybe infamous race in the tournament 2 years ago between French Lightning John, then known as Black Elite John, and Cross Product. Where Cross Product, I don't remember exactly what happened, but he had to restart for whatever reason, and decided to do essentially a reverse boss order GT Classic run. In the meantime, John got to his mother brain fight and had I believe a 3-hour slow lock. Hence the term John Lock was coined that night.
Yeah, nothing is free, but yeah, you do see Thorneto having good amounts of ammo and health now, so we'll head into Ridley, and with Plasma Beam, making most bosses easy. And I don't think we really talked about it, but for those who not as familiar with the GT, does actually have X-ray and Grapple Beam.
Yes.
They just don't show up in the UI until save reset or something, I think.
No, you have to actually pick up the items to see them displayed.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
It's just the way that the game is coded. Don't ask me why beyond that, but that is the way the game is coded. We won't be seeing much if any use of Grapple Beam. We will be seeing use of the X-ray because we do get to do microwave strats both in Meridia and on Fantoon.
Yeah.
This will be a 20-shot fight here for Thorneto, assuming he just does it with the beam combination here.
Yeah, and the rest of this is sort of a... Oh, well, no, never mind.
The rest of this is a boss rush.
Yeah, boss rush. Well, I was gonna let this Ridley fight is a pretty similar to the old any percent route, but I guess I forgot the other 2 bosses aren't. Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, nice spring ball. Nice spring ball into the arms of Ridley.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the chat from Ddraig.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, Ddraig, something has come up, he says, and he's had to forfeit from the race. To be fair, it wasn't looking good for him anyway. Thorneto would have to make a major mistake at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll just go ahead and follow Thorneto with the rest of the run.
Yeah, for sure. And it's aside from that little bit of Kraid shenanigans, it is shaping up to be a pretty good run for him. everything pretty quick with the GT. So now we just have to see how he handles his boss rush. And yeah, so the strip's pretty easy because you get to do the microwave. Fantoon is microwave 2, but not as easy.
Yep, and we'll get to microwave bot wound as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, one of the few. Yeah, bot wound makes it a lot easier.
It sure does.
Without it disappearing into the holes and everything. So that's a great place to have microwave beam. So, yeah. What's Do we know how Thorneto did in his first race? Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm just curious.
Well, this is the 0-1 bracket, so he did lose. I don't recall who his opponent was.
Did lose. Alrighty. So he'll end up 1-1. Not a bad way to end the second week.
Yeah, and we could talk a little bit about the tournament in general. So, I mean, this is Swiss, and of course, the cool thing about Swiss is the further we go into the tournament, the more evenly matched all the races will be. Because next week we'll have a bunch of races between 2-0 players, a bunch of races between 1-1 players, and a bunch of races between 0-2 players. And even those 0-2 races should be really good races because you got a couple players that have at much more equal skill than we had say the first week or even the second week. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should only get better as it goes on, and also with this particular tournament, as it goes on, different categories will get added in as potentials. I know RBO is going to be there eventually, and I think low percent, right, as well is going to be in the categories at some point.
Yeah, next week we actually have RBO, any percent, and triple bingo. So I think we're going to see a lot more triple bingo than we did the first week, because there are people that do not like to play any percent, and there are a lot of people that aren't just going to not want to play or not be ready to do an RBO race. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope we do get some RBO runs, especially with the 2-0 bracket. But getting those triple bingo races should be fun. We didn't get to see a lot of those last week, so hopefully we'll get to see more of them this next week.
Yeah, definitely. I know. If you're not familiar with that one, there's GT has a few tricks, but a lot of times you do them in randomizer, that sort of thing. I feel like RBO is one of the few where there's just things in there that are like a black box to me. Like, I mean, I know how to do them, but I don't think I can pull them off like Kip in the top.
Understanding them and being able to execute them are very, very different. So hopefully we get to see some of those throughout the tournament. And then, of course, when we get to the after the Swiss round, we will have, I believe it'll be the 4-2s will have a play-in race to get into the 16-player bracket, which will be a whole nother ball game, and that will involve a race, a big race. Will be chosen at the time of the race between what are kind of the three main categories that most people run. So that would be any percent, 100%, and GT Classic. And I don't know what the numbers will be because we've had a few drops and stuff. But that race will involve those players, and it'll be really fun that will be a really fun race, and we'll get to see who actually makes it into brackets.
Oh, whoops! Thorneto,
there's that microwave. Gets it on the second try, and I think he a little over microwaved because Baun only takes 4 shots from that plasma, from that full beam combo. So microwave a little extra for good measure.
Hey, you gotta make sure your snake is done. Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was talking about the playoffs. When we get to the bracket stage, all 7 categories are going to be in play. And what's going to happen is each runner will veto one category that just will not get played. And then each runner will choose amongst the remaining 5 of a category that will absolutely get played. And then if it goes to game 3, because it will be best 2 out of 3, it will be randomly drawn from the remaining 3 categories. So again, shout outs to Kip. He's the one that came up with that, and I think that was a really nice setup, and it should be a lot of fun. We're going to see a lot of different categories when we get to that bracket stage.
Yeah, I definitely like that setup for the playoffs. I mean, it's not always that you have the option of basically you can take out your worst category and you can definitely run your best. Like usually you veto and then the other guy tries to pick something that you're
Yeah.
bad at or
Might
whatever.
be might be your
And
second best if your opponent
yeah,
vetoes your best category, but at least your second best. And you
yeah,
see here,
exactly.
so Thorneto didn't quite get the Dragon microwave as well. What you want to do is you want to kneel there, and then you'll know you're done when you stand up. But unfortunately, didn't quite kill her on the first pass. Man, I had to take one more plasma shot on the second pass. Unfortunately, with Botwoon, you don't have that stand up animation, so kneeling doesn't help you any there. But he has finished up Dragon without too much trouble, and just needs to finish this off. He does need to finish this though.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And last boss, you gotta remember in GT Classic to actually go to Fantoon, because honestly, you have the gravity suit, you have plasma, you have everything, you've beaten Dragon, and sometimes it's just muscle memory to head it over to
Yeah,
Torian
well,
and
funny
finish it
you
up.
say that. You know, the other most famous race, actually the most famous race from that tournament 2 years ago,
Yeah.
between Andrew and Sloters, featured Sloters getting to the G4 room and being like, "Oops," because he did try the Fantoon skip, and let me tell you, it doesn't work.
And I've definitely seen it myself. I think in the randomizer tournament too, because a lot of times you have gravity and randomizer,
Yep.
and you gotta wait a long time while those statues kind of
Yes, yes, you do.
gray out and blow up, and then you get to go back. So
Well, and it's worse in Rando because the Rando default is for them to already be destroyed. You don't have to wait through the cutscene. So now
yeah,
you have to wait through the cutscene that you wouldn't otherwise have had to do. So
yeah. Yeah, so it's a big deal. But I mean, I don't expect Thorneto to do it, but we do. That's kind of the last
yeah,
major hurdle of this
yeah.
run.
If he's listening, then he's not doing it because you've heard us. Yeah, remember, we aren't doing randomizers, so the players can watch the restream as much as they want. They can, some runners will actually type things in chat.
Yeah, so it's not blind races. So he probably saw Ddraig also take the death and that sort
Yeah,
of
it could
thing
be.
too. So, but is heading right over to wreck ship. So all's well that ends well, kind of thing. So and there is while he's heading over to Fantoon here. There is another race coming up tonight. If this one didn't fit your fancy, we've got it looks like Mr. Giggles. Oh, Mr. J Giggles. I'm sorry. Versus Kishmo. Sorry, messed them
Yeah,
both up.
yeah, that should be a good one.
But
I believe that's on the Speed Gaming channel. So
yeah,
definitely tune in over there at 8 o'clock tonight.
yeah, definitely. And here we go with Thorneto into Fantoon. See what kind of patterns, with the race pretty much in hand. I imagine we'll be getting a couple of fast patterns just to rub it in.
Yeah, this fight is a little bit different for the microwave strap because you do have to use at least one missile to open the eye before you can actually go through the microwave process. And it looks like he's gonna get started with a slow because Oh no, that's a mid.
Gets a mid. Might be able
Spoke
to
too
finish it
soon.
off right here. Oh, and it gets one round. Nice microwave. So it takes quick care of Fantoon there. Yeah, and the other issue with the Fantoon microwave that I always run into, because I'm not as good as these guys, is you do have to make sure to do that manipulation so that Fantoon kind of comes around the bottom
Yeah.
and you can actually shoot the. Well, I mean, there's other setups too, but I feel like
Well,
that bottom one's kind of the
the
easiest.
X-ray, yeah, the X-ray won't work if you jump. So
Yeah,
that's the big thing. So
exactly.
if you have to be ready. If he ends up going high on you, yeah, you need an angle button if you're gonna try and get that to work out. But fortunately, not an issue here.
Yeah, yeah, no, an excellent Fantoon microwave there, and now he's just got to finish Torian and get out of here. Getting a
Yeah,
Loaded up
doesn't
a
get the
spark.
shine spark. You tried to get the shine spark, didn't quite get it. The best way to get out of it, it's a harder strat, but it's a little bit faster than the shine spark. If you can get the speed booster speed going, and then spaceship across the room, and if you get that, it's
Yeah,
a very feels good strat to do. Just
yeah,
space
definitely.
jumping all the way across, and it's because it saves the crash animation is the big thing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much. I mean, that's yeah. There's a couple of rooms where you can do that, and it is very difficult but very satisfying. So yeah, it looks like he'll end up with a pretty good time. Not sub 40 like his PB, but still quite quick.
Yeah, this is definitely looking really good.
Yeah. Have we seen any? Well, I haven't. I'm sorry if there have been, but have we seen any GT? Oh man, a lot of GT Classic races.
Oh, we sure have. Yeah,
Yeah.
this week has been fun. We've seen a nice variety of the three categories,
Okay.
more so than we did last week. Where we saw a whole lot of any percent.
Yeah. Yeah, not first week. Yeah, apologies. I missed a good portion of the week. A little crazy, but yeah, it looks like a lot of people race GT Classic. Oh, a lot of 40s. People stepping up their GT Classic game.
Always interested to see what different runners do in this room while they're waiting. uh, French Lightning John likes to call this the horizontal bomb jump practice room because that's what he does, and you'll see other runners do that as well. They'll practice their horizontal bomb jumps in
Yeah,
this room.
yeah. One of the really. I've been able to do a lot of the strats, but for some reason I can't get the timing on those horizontal bomb jumps. It's just very difficult for me.
Okay.
Good first Metroid, decides to group up the rest, and yeah, it's a good first Metroid room. Oh, that was interesting. Didn't get it, but laid that bomb and was trying to knock the Metroids through it. That was pretty cool.
And it'll be interesting to see if he decides to take a save here from Mother Brain, or if he decides to not do the stand-up glitch, just knowing that he has to finish. And he doesn't have to worry about his opponent.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I would do one of the two if it were me. It just, obviously if my opponent was still going, and it's a really close race, I'm not going to do either one of those. But if it's a situation here where you just need to finish and just make sure you're going to finish the race, yeah, go ahead and do one of those two safeties. Either save or just forego the stand-up glitch.
yeah, how much time does stand-up glitch save? Do you know?
30. There are people in chat that know better than I, but maybe 30 seconds is being coming. I'm not even sure that seems a little high actually. So I actually don't know the exact number.
Yeah, I was thinking like 15 to 20.
Yeah, something
Maybe
like that. Not
that's
30. Yeah, Insane Firebad, expert on a GT Classic, telling me nope, that's way wrong.
yeah,
15 to 18. Okay, that
15
sounds
to
right.
18. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, a save is those really are like almost exactly the same, huh? Because right,
Pretty
the
close.
save, the door transition, everything. Yeah, that's a tough choice. I bet in this case, we're more likely to see not a stand-up glitch than a save. But also with technically having X-ray, the stand-up glitch isn't that
It's
dangerous.
safer. Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure. It's definitely
yeah.
safer if you have X-ray, but not all the soft locks that you can run into involve
Yeah.
getting out with X-ray. So
For sure. Or all of the even not soft locks. I
yeah,
mean,
the slow locks.
I still remember that one where in one of the randos that someone like kneeled into Mother Brain. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't too funny for them, but yeah, it does.
Sorry.
There are some weird things that can happen.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, no save for Thorneto, but he's got this in the bag. We're not gonna not gonna have any soft locks here today.
Okay, we got 20 shots coming up.
And to chat there, looks like someone coming in late. Ddraig did have a death at Lava Dive, and then had to
Yeah,
head
that
out.
wasn't why he forfeited. Something came up. Hopefully everything's okay with him. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is going to go for that stand-up glitch. He emptied his reserve. You have to empty your reserve because you need that full 700. Had already previously taken off the various suit. Now needs to just be in the air at a couple of key points. So you just get a space jump here.
Yep, because if he's not space jumping, when that Metroid attaches to Mother Brain, it'll kind of lock him to the ground. You can see the animation right now where it's trying to make him kneel back down.
Getting ready to start firing those shots. He also needs to be off the ground when the Metroid detaches. You see him do these little bunny hops. Okay, looks like he's past the biggest points of choke points. Just gotta let the baby attach to him.
It looks like it's going well so far. Does need to, yep, and he does a safety backup there. So, was getting a little far left. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that Metroid.
Yeah, the Metroid does stop moving left to right. It's I think when your energy's full. Is that correct? So then it can be more difficult. Yeah, and he's good to go. He just needs to stop firing when the transition happens.
Now. Yep, yeah, if you fire at the wrong time, you can get soft lock there too. And of course, if the Metroid doesn't line up in the right place, the Mother Brain will not be able to kill it with onion rings. But he avoided all those terrible fates.
Yeah,
and
I would say
very nice stand-up glitch.
Yeah, had a nice one, even being a little extra safe with the jumping and the not firing close to the end. I mean, what was it, 3 shots with the hyper beam?
Yeah,
pretty
very
good.
Nice of them.
Yeah, Thorneto's got some good skills with the GT Classic. I'm glad to have seen him run it here, and now just a quick jaunt out to the ship, and he will snag his victory officially. And GT Classic does have the option for Blue Bomber strats. Always happy to see those if they come up. But we didn't see that today.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky strat. It's more of a swag strat than anything else.
Oh yeah, it doesn't actually save any time, does it?
I don't believe it does, but it's fun to watch and fun to do.
Oh yeah. And the last little thing, of course, is he could save the animals if he wanted. We'll see how he feels about that, and his personal beliefs. And
looks like he thought about it for a second, but decided not to.
Well, in any case, it was a great race by him, and there he goes, finishing up on the ship. What's that official? 43. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, then yeah, it gets an official time of 43:18. It's still a great GT Classic time, and does finish with that time and the race victory. So GG to Thorneto. Like his comment in chat. Sorry for the grade snafu.
Well, you survived, so it's all good.
Yep. That's the name of the game in GT Classic, survival.
Survive to the GT code, and you should be good the
Yeah.
rest of the way.
Exactly. It does look like Thorneto's gonna pop in here. So do stay tuned for a moment. We'll chat with him for a second. Oop.
And
Hello?
there he is. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sorry for the issues with Kraid there.
Yeah, well,
Kind
you
of
don't have
shook
to
me up.
apologize. But yeah, that was let's talk about that great one. What
Yeah,
happened?
I don't know. I didn't practice without like I normally have charge there, and I didn't
Sure.
practice that fight without without the quick
You do
kill.
the charge
Obviously.
quick kill normally. Okay, gotcha.
Normally, yeah. I learned the missile quick kill for GT Classic mostly, and I've been doing it lately, but I don't know what happened there. Hello. Screwed it up and then did not recover.
Oop.
Yeah.
Hello?
There it is. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
But yeah,
Congratulations.
the rest of the run
Thank
was
you.
okay. Sorry for the issues with Kraid there. Kind of shook me up a
You
little.
don't have to apologize.
Hello?
We've got.
Yeah, that was let's talk about that great one. What
Yeah.
happened?
I don't know. I didn't practice without like I normally have charge there, and I didn't practice that fight
know what's
without
going on here.
without the quick kill,
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't either. The charge
So-
quick kill normally. Okay. 'Cause that should
Normally,
actually.
yeah. I learned the missile quick kill for GT Classic mostly, and I've been doing it lately, but I don't know what happened there. I just
I think it's
screwed it up and then did not recover.
I think it's the restream on.
No, it is still coming through, which it shouldn't be once.
I
we've
gotcha.
already gotten
I gotcha. But
I
yeah,
don't know what's
the
going
rest
on
of the
there.
run was okay, other than the obvious death to lava dive. But it's all right now. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
We've
We're
got
back.
Echo.
All right.
Oh, yeah. She's still hearing the echoes. Are you guys hearing the echoes over there in chat? Because usually that's the telltale.
Yeah,
There we
they're,
go.
They're
Yeah,
hearing
they're
it.
hearing
That's
it.
going on here.
Yeah.
And,
I don't either. So yeah, if you could go ahead and mute your mic on OBS.
Yeah, it's muted on OBS now.
Okay. Hopefully that'll.
Do you have the
take care of it.
restream open?
Because it's here. I don't know what's going on here. Because when you mark someone
it's
dot
the
done, it's supposed to.
restream
Well, it is still coming through, which it shouldn't be once you mark dot done. About that great fight. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. I'd rather not. Yeah, I just couldn't recover for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. We're back.
That happened.
Oh, yeah. She's still hearing the echoes. Are you guys hearing the echoes over there in chat? Because usually that's the telltale.
Yeah,
There
they're,
we go.
they're
Yeah,
hearing
they're
it there.
But unfortunately for Ddraig, he didn't
So
save
yeah,
before
if you could
lava
go
dive,
ahead
I
and
guess.
mute your mic on
Yeah.
OBS.
Damn. Yeah, fortunately I did.
Okay.
'Cause I also
Hopefully
failed
that'll
it
Do you have the
once.
restream open or?
Yeah, it's such a choke point anyway. I don't know what's going on here because when you mark someone dot done, it's supposed to That's not that great fight.
But well, it is what it is. 43 is not the worst time in the world, I guess.
No, 43 is just fine in a race situation. So well done.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we sign ourselves off here?
Not really. Just GG to Ddraig. Unfortunately, GT Classic is what it is, so couldn't finish the run, but that's all right. Good luck to him next week, and
Yep,
all the
that's
runners.
right.
We have another race today, or I think there's one more.
Yeah, there's one more
Right.
today.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep,
All right,
and
well,
good luck to you moving on. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's such a choke point
Yeah,
anyway.
it really was a good race. GG Thorneto.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Or a good run.
All right, well, that'll do it for us. Let me go over the schedule. We do, like we said, we do have one other race going on tonight.
43 is
That
just
will
fine in a race
be
situation,
at
so well done.
8 o'clock. Mr. J Giggles versus Kishmo, with the lovely voice of the Hockey
All right,
Towner
anything
bringing
else
us
you
the
want
race.
to add before we sign ourselves off here?
And tomorrow we have 1 o'clock Kip versus Timo-chun, 4 o'clock Trevor Tox versus Toasty, and 2 races at 8 o'clock, TG Derp versus Sinan, and Fruit Bat Salad versus Zos. That FBS Zos matchup should be a really good one. So looking forward to all of those races that are coming up.
Yeah, definitely a lot
there's
of
one more
good
thing.
runners going on
Definitely.
tomorrow. So definitely
And good
stay
luck to you
tuned.
moving on.
Oops, sorry,
it really was
the
a good
background's
race,
distracting.
Yeah, the echo's still going. So, sorry about that, guys. We'll hopefully have that sorted out for the future. But
No, but definitely come back. And just as a note, I think I saw it in the chat, but I believe that the
Oof, you
8 p.m., even
guys,
though
that
they're
was some
at
big
the same
oofs.
time, they are not doing any 4-ways, right?
no, we don't do. We can't do
That
4
was
ways in
not good.
multi-category.
Yeah, so those will be 2 separate channels, but you can always multi-Twitch that. So definitely watch them both.
Yeah, and
But,
be sure to
anyways,
follow these runners and follow
I'm gonna
my
sign off for
co-commentator
now.
Sire.
I'll be on
and
later.
Yeah,
Have a good one, you
Oh
guys.
yeah, of course. Follow the runners and follow Tracy. You know she's holding down the fort down here all the time. So
Yeah, well,
make sure to
yeah.
go follow her.
I got a lot of good help with me, so it's all good. So thank you all for watching, and see you at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, have a good one.